Today is June 10th, 2025. We are at the Community Media Center in Westminster, Maryland. My name is Charles Harrison, and joining me today is Mike Gesuele. Thank you, Mike, for joining us today. And
My pleasure.
For sharing your military experiences. Okay. We certainly appreciate you sharing with the veterans and citizens of Carroll County. Let's start with what service were you involved with, Mike?
I was in the Army.
In the Army?
I was an Army medic.
Were you drafted or
Long
volunteered?
Story. I got fired from my job in New York when I was about 20. And on the way home from a beach, as a matter of fact, I got assigned to join the Army. So I went to see my recruiter, a recruiter. And I wanted to work with kids. I've coached kids for many, many years, even as a young man. And he says you have to be a medic. So I was a medic.
Ah.
That was the deal.
That involved some extensive training after you enlisted, after boot camp?
Yeah, we had to go down to Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio.
Okay.
I think it was 10 weeks, 10, 11 weeks. So essentially, I was a civilian in August of '65 and in Vietnam in January of '66.
So it was a do not pass go, do not collect $200.
They put me on speed train.
To jail.
Right there.
Oh my goodness, that must have been an experience. Any experiences, interesting experiences doing boot camp and basic training, or?
If you've been in boot camp, you know they're going to yell at you and scream at you and teach you how to kill people and how to shoot guns.
Okay.
I accepted that, and they try to run you to death occasionally.
But as a medic, you weren't.
No, they don't know that when you go to boot camp.
Oh, okay.
Boot camp's first, then you go to your specialty training, and that was down in Texas.
Okay. Was that difficult to get through, the medical aspects of it?
Not really.
Not really.
If you look at it as in today's world, it's like a tech in the hospital. Maybe we did a little bit more.
I see. Did you serve in combat in Vietnam, or just being there was considered combat?
Well, in Vietnam, we considered being in a combat zone. We, at the hospital, we got fired on some small arm fire. It wasn't a constant. It was irregular. Now, we did have some of the MP guards that were shot at the gates. We were under a mortar attack once or twice. But was I worried? Not overly.
No. So was it a stressful situation for you?
I don't handle stress. It is. I get up in the morning, what today's going to be is what today's going to be.
I see. That's very good, very good. What was your first time, how did you feel when you arrived in Vietnam? You had to reception station?
I can't use those kind of words. You're going over because we got our orders in January '66. I just got back from being with the family in New York, and we got the orders. So I called my then girlfriend and gave her the good news. We can get married sooner because I don't have to wait. I'm going to go there now. And the thing was, don't die there. That worked out. My family I wouldn't go back to because my parents are first generation Italian, so they had me dead when I enlisted, so I didn't go back. Okay. But no, when I got into country, it was you're afraid, and then they basically say, hop on a Jeep and take you to your serving station. And when they dropped me out of the 3rd Field Hospital, it was really 2 combined field hospitals, 3rd and 51st. And it was a fairly big complex, but it was a brick and mortar area. It used to be a school, I believe, a dependent school. I think now it's a museum in there.
So you felt pretty secure being in that facility?
Once I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you participate in any Vietnamization projects, in-country moving?
We didn't.
Camps and?
Well, there were 2. In our spare time, we worked at an orphanage in the convent. And then we used to go out to something we called med camp. The nurse didn't use our medical supplies. She got medical supplies donated. This is the story that was told to me. I don't know. And we used to go out to the villages and treat the people out in the villages. At the orphanage, there was these kids. As a matter of fact, one of the good parts was that when we were there, they had a row of kids, little children, and their beds are abutted next to each other, and the girls are on one side and the boys are on the other side. Somehow or another in the military, things just appear, and some 2x4s just appeared, and we made bunk beds. The kids went crazy. Now they had a little walking room. Yeah.
That's terrific. That because you mentioned earlier that you do like children and dealing with children. Did you have any problem with the language barrier?
Absolutely. You learn the words, at least some of them. I found the Vietnamese people, the ones that I've interacted with, to be a kind group of people. And they're wondering, what the hell are you doing here? I mean, if they came to this country and attacked, we'd be wondering what the hell you're doing here.
Yeah.
So that effect.
Okay. Well, what part of the country were you in? Where were you?
I was right between Saigon and Tan Son Nhut.
So that's I-Corps?
Yeah, I think if you're not in my head immediately, I don't really care who's my boss. Somebody will point me in the right direction eventually.
Because the difference is I-Corps, 2-Corps, you've got different ethnic groups in Vietnam too, like the Montagnard.
No, we never got that far. These are just basically the Vietnamese.
Basic Vietnamese. Okay, very, very good. Tell me about your day. What were you responsible for doing? There's a difference between a nurse and a
medic.
And a medic.
Yeah.
You went out on combat assault missions, or you were just stationed there?
Nope. I had an opportunity to join a medevac team on a helicopter. No, people shoot at those people regularly, so I chose not to do that. So in the hospital, I worked 6 days a week, 8 hours a day. So you go down to the ward, you take care of the people that were wounded, and you get all sorts of. I worked on a surgical ward. You had all sorts of people with amputations, people with missing parts, and you did your best you can to take care of them. When you were off, you're off. Now, the difference in the hospital, and that's how the teamwork was fantastic there, and out in the field, I'm sure it was the same thing. When we got hit, and there's a lot of people coming in, I don't care if you were a cook in the armory or working in supply, when that came in, people just popped up and moved the patients to be triaged and be taken care of. And you get the people in, you get them out of the uniforms, you get them into something more comfortable, you make the bed, you clean the bed, you get them all set, because you don't know how long they're going to be there. So we all jumped in and do that. No matter what you were doing, everybody stopped and took care of that. Now once everybody was into beds, and then the regular crew that was on duty that particular hour would run the rest of the shift, but that's what you had to do. The sad part was, even in triage, I have a friend of mine who's a nurse. She's out in Seattle. And she wrote a book. If anybody here if should read the book, The Woman, I forgot who wrote it. Hannah, if that's a name, I don't. It was recommended me. It's about a nurse who comes from a fairly well-to-do family, goes into service, and the transactions that go on there and the family. And that book made me cry, because we saw all those things. Now, I'm not getting shot at, but I saw the bodies come in. We also took care of children, multiple children. My wife was amazed when I changed the diaper of our firstborn. She says, "Where'd you learn how to do that?" And I said, "Vietnam." We had to take care of babies. You had birth defects that were brought in. We had a young man come in one time. He came in a ball, literally in a ball. His legs were attached to his chest, the back of his thighs, and the back of his thighs. I'll get you later. He couldn't walk. You had to pick him up. And they operated. The kid walked out of the building.
Oh, amazing.
Now, that in itself is a fantastic part. The other part was the wounded soldiers. Would buy them gifts and take care of the kids, all of them. It was unbelievable. The young men I saw there were fantastic.
Well, that's stress. And whether you deal with that or not, it's stressful to see wounded and deal with wounded every day. Did you experience any post-stress complications because of what you did in your role?
As a matter of fact, I just got off the phone with the VA today. We had an accident at home, my wife, and she fell and got injured, and I couldn't help her, and that really ticked me off.
Yeah.
Because I'm the type of guy that can handle everything, and I couldn't help, and that got me.
Okay. On the way in, you mentioned that you had an injury or something.
I got Agent Orange.
Okay.
My feet are shot, my hands are shot. They're all numb. They don't hurt. There's no pain. I can't balance myself when I walk. But I'm 80 years old. I'm not going to be like this too much longer, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Have you found the Veterans Administration to be responsive to your needs and inquiry to any great extent?
The veterans groups I've seen here, there's the one over at the Senior Center, and then there's another one over at on the other side of Westminster. I'm using them both.
Okay. All right.
They have been extremely helpful, very nice people.
Okay, and Bill Murphy with the transportation aspect help you, Lily?
I don't need transportation.
No,
I still can drive. I still do it. For the most part, I'm pretty good. When I can't, I have days when I just sort of run out of steam, and I just go hit my recliner and go to sleep.
Okay. Well, you seem to be doing well after you came back here in the States. Did you utilize any of your skills that you picked up as a medic when you came back to find work here?
Well, when I came back, see, one of the things that I can say, Vietnam was the worst and the best year. Okay, and if you've been to combat, any combat zone, you can leave it. It doesn't leave you. It
Right.
stays with you forever. The skills I had, I look at. I was raised in a family where education was very important, and my sisters were extremely bright. Me, I'm okay. I'm okay. But I always thought going to college was for smart people. Then in the Army, I saw, if you apply yourself, maybe you can do better than these guys. And I went to college when I got out. I got back out. As a matter of fact, I got out, got married, finished my tour because I was still in the military. I was here in Baltimore in 1968 when Martin Luther King was killed. I was the lead medic for the troops that they sent up here, and I spent a week in the zoo by the polar bears.
Oh, wow.
We had my own tent, and we treated anybody that got hurt. Most of the injuries were not from rioters, just guys being sloppy, falling down, getting hurt, and stuff like that. And then we drove home. When I got out, I wanted to go to college. I went to college. My commander took me on the side and wanted me to go to OCS. I said, no, no. If you go to OCS, you're going to come out as second lieutenant. Where are you going to go? Back to VA. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I'm not that dull. And I said, no, I'm very happy where I'm going. My plans were set, and it's worked out. So the military helped me in a lot of ways. Being a medic has helped in that my confidence level was really good. I can do a lot of things and help people. So yeah, the Army has helped me most of the time.
Okay. Well, what job did you have when you came out?
When I came out, I went to school, and then I got my degree. I student taught. Matter of fact, I was offered the teacher's job. I was student teaching it. I said, no, thank you. I didn't like the school systems. I don't like the politics that's involved in that. I worked in recreation. I ran my own community center.
Oh, okay.
And then I got an offer. Just happened to run into a guy that was the manager of the local Social Security office. We hit it off. He called me in for an interview. And I finally looked at the pay scales, state, government, and I took a job with Social Security. Worked for them for 38, 39 years. With the military, 40 some odd years total government service.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's worked out for me.
Terrific. That's great. Social Security hires a lot of folks. And you retired from Social Security?
I did. I like to think we've helped a lot of people, in spite of what some of the current leadership says. I've seen so much help. I've had people. I used to work actually out in the field, and I've seen people just cry at my desk because I was able to help them. I listen to people.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah. Well, that's terrific. You seem to have a good life after service. Any regrets about your military, your time you spent in the military?
No, not at all. I wouldn't be where I am without it. Now, was it some of it good? No. Seeing people, having your hands on people when they die, and that happened to me a few times, is not a good thing. So you take care of that, and then you go off and cry someplace.
You get to travel any outside of Vietnam, or?
No, I pretty much stayed where it was. The hospital was always cooking, so other than doing the tasks we were doing, helping the villages, because we would go out to the orphanage almost weekly. We're fixing things up down there for them too.
How do you feel about the welcome you received when you came home, particularly from your parents?
my parents broke out. They were happy. It was. I didn't face what some of the other people faced because I guess I was there a little bit early, because no one would said anything to me or spit at me. If that happened, I would have gone to jail. I would have hurt them. But no, I did not have it. Some of my friends who I've dealt with, my closest friends in Vietnam, all three ended up being alcoholics. Now recovering alcoholics. They all recovered, thank God. But yeah.
Do you think that was a result of military service and actions after or during the service period?
I had a nurse who lives in Massachusetts now, and when I wrote her, I finally found them. This is after I retired. So this is from 11. I wrote them, and I wrote her name, and I said, my name is, I was known as by the name G-E-Z, Jez. Nobody can pronounce my last name, it was usually Jez. And she wrote me back, and she said, Dear Jez, I don't remember much, but I do remember you. And I'm talking about, she was the maid of honor of my other friend, and she has no recollection of that. None. She is now sober, if she's still alive. I'm trying to reach her. We haven't been able to make contact again. But yeah, I think all of it has to do with some of the pressures people felt. I didn't give myself the time to have the pressure. I was always trying to move forward, go to college, get married, go to college, get a job, do this, do that, and then change jobs. And I was always hustling. And you give me an opportunity to get a promotion, I'm going to go for that too. So you're always hustling. And I just, it didn't affect me all that much.
Well, the difference in wars, in World War I and II, you were on a boat coming home. Vietnam, you were in Vietnam in the evening, and that next day you're back at home. So there's not much time to compress or decompress and become inculcated back into the U.S. society.
And I think what helped me was the fact that I was still in the Army. So I went home for, I think it was a month. And then I had to go down to Fort Bragg. As a matter of fact, I drove down to Fort Bragg with the buddy who became a helicopter medic, a medevac medic. And that was interesting, but yeah.
Okay. Mike, it sounds as though you've had an interesting career with very few regrets about the military service, and proud of your accomplishments during that military period. Listen, we want to thank you for coming in and sharing those experiences with us today. And we wish you well in future endeavors. And again, thank you for coming in today.
The pleasure's all mine. I do. Thank you very much.